Hey, what's up, gang? Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. I'm continuing my look at MOTU Origins Wave 4, and today I'm checking out Hordak, the most evil force in He-Man's universe, more evil and powerful than even Skeletor, as we are led to believe. Now, the names of the MOTU characters always seem to have some kind of connection to their character traits or abilities, like say for instance Many Faces or Mechanic. Now, I'm not really sure what the name Hordak is supposed to imply, but it does have some similarities to the word Horde, of which Hordak is the leader of. The evil Horde. So yeah, maybe that's the connection. Anyway, great that Mattel stuck the evil Horde sticker on the package to indicate that this is a whole new subgroup of characters. Okay, on the back, we've got what is maybe the best back-of-the-box artwork so far on a MOTU Origins figure. Just look at that. Now, this should be on a poster. Hordak and the entire evil Horde planning an assault on Grayskull. Just pause the screen for a bit. We've got Modulok, Montana, Leech, Grislaw, Horde Troopers, even the eye of the giant snake hiding in the Fright Zone. But from the original Mattel toy line, there are maybe 3 key members of the evil Horde who are not here though. Leave a comment below if you know who they are. Okay then, enough horsing around. Let's get Hordak out. Inside the package, we've got the same stuff that we've seen before. The mini comic Sneak Attack, which actually features Hordak in a prominent role. So don't worry about getting a book that's totally unconnected to the toy that you bought. Everything here appears to be synced up very well. Now, we also get the instruction guide that comes with a great diagram of Hordak. Look at that. Now, this is of course something that you can also use as an art reference if you want to. Okay guys, you know what? I can feel Hordak's stare piercing my soul. Let's just get him freed up quick so that we can start talking about him, okay? Yeah, let's get down to it. So here he is, fellas, the ruthless leader of the evil Horde. Now this sculpt is unmistakably Hordak. The Hordak that you remember from the cartoon and the original toy. It's not like how the sculpt on the origin Skeletor turned out, where, you know, he was maybe laughing or yawning. You remember that one, right? But this is Hordak, guys. Just look at that stare. The eyes are red, you know, to make them extra evil. Even the fangs in his mouth are red. So either he just chewed on his latest victim, or he had a steak that was medium rare. Now the sculpt is fantastic, okay? You get to see all these indentations in his skull. It's obvious that they put some real effort into this, and it shows. Just look at that. Okay, then we get down to his body armor, and we get this fantastic raised up sculpt of the giant bat icon. Get ready though, this ain't the last bat that you've seen, because this guy is covered in maybe 100 bats. So working your way down to his boots, you see the bat icon again, and what's interesting is that this isn't painted on. Nope, it's actually sculpted into the piece. That's right. On both of the legs, actually. On both of the boots. So this really turned out well. You also get the armband here, which also has the sculpt of a bat. Okay, the armband is a removable piece. So technically, it would count as an accessory if you wanted to. Okay, now on the back of the figure, you get this giant red cape, which is a sculpted piece. Okay, it's not fabric, just like how it was with Skaglow. Now, personally, I hate the cape with this material, but what are you gonna do? Lifting up the cape, you see another giant bat symbol on the back, and you also see the residue of some dried up glue. Okay, no one wants to see that. Now the cape isn't removable. It's attached to the armor. Okay. I mean, you could remove it if you wanted to, I guess, by using deadly force, but you'll just be left with a giant red blanket, maybe. So yeah, don't bother. Now we might as well get his armor off to see how he looks like underneath. Okay. Um, Easiest way to do that is, of course, to pop his head right off. There you go. Yeah, there you go. The headless Hordak. Actually, if you like, this could also be bedchamber mode Hordak. I mean, this is like nighttime Hordak, with his armor off and just heading in for a good night's sleep after a hard day of slaughtering and killing. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Okay, for accessories, Hordak comes with this large white crossbow, which has a, you guessed it, symbol of a bat. Now, this crossbow is another part of his iconic toy look. I mean, the version from the 80s had it too. So yeah, you just kind of like just strap it onto his hand like so. But you know what? I kind of always wondered what the crossbow actually fired, because it doesn't seem to come with anything that would shoot out of it. Okay? So he mostly just looks cool, just standing there holding it in his hands. Okay, now aside from the crossbow, you also get something else, and that's the bat shield accessory. Check this out. Now, the weird thing is, there's no mention of this thing on the packaging or even any mention of what you're supposed to do with it. But, basically, if you remember the original 80s version of Hordak, it came with a similar bat shield accessory, and you basically just strap it onto Hordak's arm like so. Yeah, you just hook it into his arm, and there you go. It's just attached there. It's a bit on the small side to be a shield, but I guess it had to be bat sized. Now, you can also sort of like position it around his arm like like a weapon. You could sort of like use its sharp edges to stab the enemy if you wanted to. Okay, you could just like, yeah, push it down on the sides like that, yeah, and just stab the enemy. Yeah, like so. If you wanted to. Okay. Now the thing is, when I originally got the 80s version of Hordak a couple of years ago, I had no idea that this was even supposed to be a shield. Now I thought that this was a real life bat that was like Hordak's pet or something like that. Like his one true friend. And you see how you could have Hordak positioned to just stare at the bat, to sort of like just stare and talk to it and to kind of confide in it. I mean, you see it, right? Okay, now let's bring out the original bad boy, the 1980s Hordak, for a side-by-side comparison. Okay, you can see all the remarkable similarities in both figures. Now, aside for some different paint apps, the head is mostly the same. And the body armor isn't some lame PVC material like the Origins one is. Yeah, it's solid plastic, dude. Hard plastic. And the crossbow was probably white at some point, and yellowed since, sadly. Now the cape. Okay, it's got that soft, flowing fabric texture. So much better. Now over on the boots, you have the same bat icons. The armband is not removable though. Okay, so like I said earlier, it's an additional accessory piece on the new figure. Okay, now for a bit of nostalgia. Checking out the back of the Hordak figure from the 1980s, you see an imprint where it says Mattel 1984 Malaysia. That's right. Now this Hordak figure was made in a Mattel factory in Malaysia all the way back then, okay? Now this channel is based in Malaysia and I grew up in Malaysia in the 1980s. But I damn sure didn't know that they were making Hordak right here. Okay, now let's look at the bat shield accessories, past and present. Now, the one in my right hand is the soft rubbery version from the Origins Hordak. Yeah, look at that. Soft and bendable. Now, the one in my left hand is the original one with the hard plastic. See how tough that looks? Yeah, real tough. Damn it. Right, so you can see how the hard plastic really brings out the details in the sculpt on the original. Look at that. Now, however, the plastic on the strap hardened some time back and actually cracked off. So, cue the violins. You know, I guess I'm gonna have to replace this at some point. So that's the video, guys. Now let me know what you think of Origins Hordak in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this video. And of course, if you enjoy the content, do support me by sharing this video out and subscribing to the channel so that I can bring you more, so much more. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you all again real soon.